Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Big program lined up today. Obviously, we'll hit on what took place last night in the national title game. We'll try to update if anything happens today in the transfer portal about getting ahead on futures for next season in college basketball. We have a lot on a busy Major League Baseball card, NBA. Julian Edlow on the program coming up in an hour. Wes Reynolds, 2 full segments with him on the Masters. And Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of this great property. So congrats to all of you. I've seen tickets all the way back to April 8th from last year. That's a year ago tomorrow.
Nice.
When people put in tickets on Michigan. You know why they put tickets in on Michigan? Because that's when they were getting big players to come to that team in the portal. Much like the portal is now open, and if anything happens, that's why I said we'll let you know about that. Yeah. I'm willing to tie up a ticket for a year at 20-1 in that range, maybe even better if it's going to cash. I'm okay with that.
Yep. 20-1 in the summer. A lot of people had it. Humans had it. 16-1 before the season started. We'll tip jars open. We'll do that coming up. You know, real Mr. ACL gave it out as a gift, and that cashed. Guy won $4,000 as a wedding gift.
Yep.
That's incredible. So, it's also interesting when you talk to bookmakers, and Johnny Avello was quoted in an ESPN.com story about the odds next year, and you have your usual candidates and suspects, but he said how college basketball and sports have changed. You got to look at an Arkansas. You definitely have to look at a BYU. Teams that have a lot of money that are going to spend and moving forward, what that's going to look like. So, and we also got an answer to the question, what if Michigan couldn't make shots and couldn't knock down threes? Well, they make 2 threes and still won the game.
Well, I thought
phenomenal job by Michigan.
I thought a couple of things last night. First of all, we've been saying this forever. The fact that coaches and players are obligated to talk at halftime or in between game, whatever it is, they never say anything. Last night, I will tell you that those were 2 of the best sound bites that we're ever going to get during the game. One, Dan Hurley, who admitted the only chance that we have against this team is to make it as ugly as possible. And he kind of laughed right away in the game. That's what we're trying to do. And then Yaxel Lendenborg at halftime, he basically said, I'm worthless out there right now, and I'm injured, and I got to just see if I can get better in the second half. How many kids talk like that at halftime? That was terrific to say that.
Sure.
But also, Hurley, from a betting standpoint, unless it keeps continuing next year, since 2023 in the tournament, now 19-1 ATS. Going back to the 2009 tournament, the Huskies are 35-7 against the spread. Hurley, in the Sweet 16 or later, 12-0 ATS, 16-0 ATS after the round of 32, and in the last 4 days, when he has 2 days rest of 2 days of rest in the tournament, 10-0 ATS. That dropped to 8-2 straight up last night.
It's too bad it's over. It's an incredible run.
I know,
and how good this guy is. Unbelievable.
Well, if you, watch the game, all you needed to know was the first 10 minutes to see how much better of a coach he is compared to a guy like Tommy Lloyd. He knew what the game plan was.
Yeah.
Lloyd did the exact opposite.
Yeah, fair. It was a good job by the Big Ten and in the drought, and also Michigan and in the drought as well. And I loved, you referenced it, I think, 2 weeks ago, how important that was at the end of the game. I loved the Magic Johnson play. Just get it and chuck it to the other end of the court. I love that, and let the clock expire. That's a beautiful play, and nobody does it. I've only seen it a couple times going back. Magic did it against, I think it was Portland in a playoff game a long time ago. I love that play. Just grab it and throw it down to the other end. And if he holds on to it, they're going to foul. And then it gets interesting from a point spread standpoint. How many does he make? But that just locks up the game. It's over. And just fire at the other end of the court. It was beautiful.
How about 67-63 and Caravan had a look?
Oh, I know. They tried to give it away.
Are you serious?
Silly, yeah. You almost turn it over. Then they call a timeout. They turn it over out of the timeout, and then they brick 2 free throws.
All right.
That got hairy. You're right. And then, but Ball kissing it in, too, I guess, is the other one.
Miracle.
If he doesn't kiss that in, they're going to cover.
Michigan is the first team ever to win a title while getting out-rebounded. That number was 46-39 last night in favor of UConn and making at least 5 fewer three-pointers. They were -7 on threes last night. That tweet courtesy of Josh Dubow, who works for the AP. I thought it was a nasty game to watch. That was a terrible national title game. But that's the way UConn had to make it. And I also thought the referees, for what it's worth, they were so inconsistent last night. Don't be part of the story. What are you doing calling the flagrant in that first half on Caravan? And then the ticky-tack stuff later on in the second half. guys, please stay out of the headlines. Completely unnecessary. To Hurley's credit, he didn't complain about it last night after the game. He thought he was going to because he was about to blow a gasket as that game was unfolding. But this is a good email from In the Loop, ftm@vsin.com.
Yeah.
From 8-24 with never to coach again, Juwan Howard, to investing a ton of cash into depressed assets, boom, champs. Until the wild things of this NCAA portal madness gets under control, the NCAA futures markets in basketball and football will have enormous volatility with high price value each year in the beginning of the seasons when there is no longer rebuilding. That's the thing. These programs don't have to rebuild anymore. That's a unit of 5 different transfers starting from Michigan. They won the whole thing.
Yeah. Look at Texas Tech. They made the playoff in college football, and now their win total is like 11.5, and they're expected to make the playoff again. You know, you got to go. They had one good year with Crabtree, and now Texas Tech has turned into a contender every year as well. You're right, and Miami's back too. That's a big reason why as well. NIL.
Sure,
I think that's a good email.
Sure. So if any of these big names, again, like I said, in the portal happen to land today, we'll keep you abreast of that because, again, I didn't have Michigan. Did not have them. That would have been a nice ticket to cash. And Humans bet them at the back end of May, as he said last night on VSiN Primetime. I think he got 20-1 on the Wolverines to win the whole thing. We do have a baseball game starting in 5 minutes. This is in New York. Now, here's the deal today. The game, a bunch of these games moved up because of cold weather.
They should have moved more up.
That's what I
thought, too. Can you imagine in Fenway tonight? Good luck. Mizorowski's going, and it's 35 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Against Crochet.
That, too.
In this game starting very soon, I do have a bet on it. So, news item here out of the Mets. Juan Soto placed on the IL yesterday. He's expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. The Mets are back from a 7-game road trip. They played against the Cardinals and the Giants. They were really good against San Francisco, but San Francisco is absolutely reeling right now. The Mets have the second-best bullpen ERA in Major League Baseball. Arizona's batting .211 on the year. That's 23rd in baseball. They're 29th in walks. Gallen's last start at home against Detroit, very good. 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned, 2 Ks. And typically he's been a very good home pitcher. His first start of the year at the Dodgers, it's the Dodgers lineup, so 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned, 2 Ks in that one. But Gallen against the Mets last year, he won both matchups. He allowed 2 runs in 13 innings. Peralta is 4-0 with a 1.35 ERA and 6 career starts against the Diamondbacks. So with these cold conditions, again, expecting some wind, I want instant gratification here. I played under 1.5 for the first 3 at plus 120 in this game, Paulie.
All right. Okay. Did you take any Baltimore Orioles?
Thought about it with Rodgers on the mound, but I did not.
Last 20 appearances, 15 quality starts, allowed 2 runs or fewer 18 times. A 1.76 ERA since 2025. Guy's been unbelievable. Smith comes in, and he's been brilliant, but he had an ERA of 19. So figure that the Orioles could get the win tonight in a game that was pushed up with the weather, as you mentioned earlier. And it's hitting you right in the face today. Right in the face, Seattle. But it'll probably lose. They've won 10 in a row. When Kirby starts against Texas, he's 8-0 with an ERA of 1.
Yeah.
And Evaldi has been awful to start the season. And I know Naylor and J-Rod don't have an extra base hit yet, and they've had their issues offensively, going back to what happened over the weekend with the robbery with Adele again. But they're $1.15 at Texas. And I just think Kirby has owned them, and they've been so good when he starts. Not to mention it's a mini fade of Evaldi as well.
Well, how about another under in that game, though? Because I don't trust this Mariners offense right now for a second.
Little risky. He's got an ERA of 9 his last 5, Evaldi. But it's, 7.5 might be too high.
The offenses were doing nothing in that game last night. That was Gilbert against DeGrom.
Yeah.
And 2, I know Evaldi's off to a rough start, like you said, but Kirby's got the goods as well as owned this team. And Evaldi's track record last couple of years have been super impressive. I will point out, by the way, in that Orioles game, the offense is doing nothing right now for Baltimore. Shane Smith is going, like you said. So he had 6 Ks through 2 innings. He's through 3 right now. He has thrown 77 pitches already. He has 8 Ks and 4 walks. I mean, I didn't even look at his ladder props today for Ks, but he has cashed every imaginable rung at this point. Nothing going in that game. Right now, it looks like the White Sox finally got a hit off of Rodgers, and there are 2 outs right now in the bottom of the third.
I was going to say, I'll ask you about Skeens. and a total of 6 against the Padres, against Pivetta.
Well, it's Pivetta going, so his last start was awesome.
But they're starting to hit, too. 25 runs the last 5 games. Skeens at home. 12-6 with an ERA of 2 and 27 starts. And O'Hearn's been great as well. Reaching in all 9 home games.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little cheap, but how long will he go? That's the thing. 7, 6?
That's
when do they get off Pivetta, too? I mean, it's
a little risky business, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to war with him at all, with any of his props specifically, because if they yank him again at like 78 pitches,
I know.
That's not okay with me.
Yeah, and your boy is 0 for his last 12. After,
Oh, my boy.
Your boy Griffin.
Griffin?
That's right.
Yeah, big guy. I have no bets on him.
I know, that's tough, too. So they got to get him going.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good job. I think we should, I agree with Pizzola and other people that we should have a day game every single day.
100%. By the way, we were not on the air before first pitch today of that Cleveland game. Because of the weather and all the cold and the wind, the grand salami today was 117.5. That means total runs scored across all games being played today in baseball.
Yeah, okay.
Today would have been a good day, I think, to take the under.
Yeah.
But I never bet it. It's too late for that. But
Good call.
It just, when you're looking at all these notes for the games, like, oh my God, there's a chance where nothing happens in these games at all.
Another one, Minnesota. 35, 40 degrees at Schuylkill against Bradley.
Mm-hmm. Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, it's the NBA. We have to look at Cooper Flagg props again. His usage rate has been sky high over his last 2 games, and let's keep riding the wave. We'll tell you about that next here on VSiN.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Big card tonight in the NBA as well. The first thing that I locked in on, and I was looking last night, involved this Mavericks-Clippers game, and right now the latest numbers here on the game. Los Angeles favored by 11.5 or 12. The total is as high as 239, but you know where I'm going this. It has to be Cooper Flagg props, as we talked about a lot yesterday on the show. Between 25.5 and 27.5 earlier, and his PRA is 39.5. So a usage rate in the NBA above 30 is teetering like on elite. For example, this year, Luka has a usage rate of almost 37%, which is astronomical. Jaylen Brown's at 35%. Flagg's last 2 games at 38%. He has taken 57 shots in his last 2 games. He was 19 of 30 and 7 of 7 from the free throw line in the game last Friday. And then on Sunday against the Lakers, 14 of 27, and he went to the free throw line 17 times. I played over 25.5. I laid 25 cents there. I played over 29.5 points at almost 2-1, and over 39.5 PRA on top of that as well.
What was 30?
I found almost 2-1.
Oh, good price. I'm not going to talk you off any of it.
No, you can do 35. You can do 34.5, 39.5 if you want.
He's 9-1 to score 45 plus. At DK. He's 5-1 to score 40 plus. I like it. No Gafford, no Washington. No defense is going to be played in this one. They don't play defense.
Right.
Up tempo. The last time they played, it was 130. Both teams in the 130s. Dallas blew the game. I think the Clippers are laying too much, but they're trying to get the 8th seed. That's big. Dallas finally off a win. They ended the 14-game home losing streak. They were up 22 on the Lakers. You're right. He's going to take a ton of shots. And they want to get him the award. The hijinks and shenanigans of the game before that, where they put him back in to get the 50 burger. I'm not going to talk you off anything here because there's going to be plenty of shots in a high-scoring game, and he can deliver. And you also have, based on the spread, even though I think it's too many points, you could have the blowout factor, and he's just padding his stats at the end of the game, and he's in there.
I mean, all of this makes too much sense to me, right? As you brought up, again, yesterday and today, the fact that Kidd got ejected, Vogel then took over, put him back in the game in a blowout, and he scored 51 points. That tied in with those 57 shots in 2 games, how are they going to treat this any differently for the last 4 games? Are they going to say, all of a sudden, Cooper, you're going to be playing 22 minutes tonight? No, his usage rate has been that high for a reason, and I'm predicting here, betting on the fact that it's going to be that high. Boy, and you said this too, looking ahead to their schedule, the Bulls on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
If he goes nuts in the next 3 games leading into that one, what's his prop going to be, 34.5? Who knows what it could be? This could change big time over the next couple of games anyway.
They'll have a huge game Sunday.
Absolutely. And I'm expecting that to be the case here. Look, now DK's at 27.5. Opta AI projecting 20.3 points. Well, they're taking into stock here full season stuff, not current form and current usage rate.
Yeah.
So I'm forgetting about the entire season. I'm going with what we've seen here recently with Cooper Flagg. I'd be stunned if they say, he's playing 25 minutes and that's that.
I think you have to go up to 35 at least.
That's fine.
Take the plus money. Just that he's been on a mission. And how they're treating this. Yeah. Boy, you got a good number there. But
what is he at now?
At Caesars, he's $1.05, minus 105 to score 30.
Oh, that's horrendous.
Yeah. Plus 215 to get 35 plus. I mean, I know everyone's betting it, but we're getting out of control here. It's again, he's plus 115 at DK to score 30. He's plus 230 to score 35 plus.
Well, okay. Everybody's betting it then. They're moving the numbers, obviously. Well, and then there you go. If he goes over it tonight, it's going to be much higher than where it opened for this game in the next. And they play tomorrow night, by the way. Yeah. I think it's on the road against the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll probably, if he has 30 plus tonight, it's going to open at 29.5 tomorrow night on a back-to-back for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So go ahead.
No Ant, no McDaniels, no LeBron, no DeRozan. Curry's probably going to go limited to 26 minutes as well on some updates here with these games. Makinen's got great trends as always. 11-2 underrun. Chicago, Washington head-to-head. 8 of the last 10 Nets, Bucks games have gone under, and a road team's covered 4 in a row with Toronto and Miami. They played 2 in a row in Toronto, and the favorites flipped in this one. Looks like Miami's going to be locked into that 9-10. Unless they can close strong. And this is a big game from a win total standpoint. If the Nets win 2 more games, they somehow go over their win total. The Bucks are laying 2.5. They're not playing anybody. And this is ugly. Front page, ESPN.com. The Giannis story and the dysfunctional organization. His agent asked twice for a trade. They said no. I want to play business. They said, okay. Scrimmage 3-on-3. He says no. And Doc Rivers stood up in front of the team and said, Google me. Look at my resume. I can take bad teams or teams not expected to go to the playoffs. I've done it before. And that apparently after benching Kuzma, the team didn't like that. And Portis called him out and just said it's a total disaster.
Of all guys on the planet to say, do you know who I am or Google me, Doc Rivers is the last coach ever to say that.
I know him in 3-1 leads.
Those words came out of his mouth?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. I knew you'd get a kick out of that. It's an incredible story with a ton of tidbits, and it just goes on and on and on. But this is going to be ugly. And because, one, I don't think they do him a favor anymore. I say, well, they're just going to trade you to whoever has the best offer. The other tidbit is Miami offered Hero, Ware, other players, and a ton of picks and swaps, and Milwaukee said no.
Oh, my God. Boy. Are they going to get better than that?
That's what I thought. You're going to get a better offer.
They said no to that?
They said no to it.
Holy smokes.
And apparently also they said, well, we're open for business. But then the GM was taking days to get back to people that had, because I think there was like 10 teams that offered something. So
see, now that makes more sense than they really didn't have a conversation with anybody. Or they had a couple, but then the offer is going to be better in the offseason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buzz City Killers.
Well, hold on. For the Bucks, did you see who's doing well lately?
Who is it?
Cornac Ryan, rookie from North Carolina, last 4 games.
Yeah.
13, 25, 11, and 21 points, and he's now playing 30 minutes or more. His props are available nowhere at this point. So I would jot that one down and come closer to game time tonight, which is 7:40 Eastern. You got a couple of hours. If books are going to post numbers on him, if it's small enough, I think you got to bet it.
Sounds good.
Those are it's like that Riley guy right now for the Wizards who's going off, and Zach Cohen's been all over him at vsin.com. And now his prop tonight is 21.5. One more thing before Charlotte quickly. You brought up that Bulls game, and there you go with the Wizards as well. This is from VSiN Insights on X. Teams that lost their last 4 games or more are 47, 22, and 2 ATS as road favorites in their last 71 games. That's a situation the Bulls are in tonight. They're laying 6.5 against Washington. 68% on a 4-game losing streak. When you're favored like this.
Mamma mia.
Anyway, so
250.5. Good. I think the Timberwolves are laying too much. With these guys that are out, the Pacers have been frisky.
I want nothing to do with the tanking parlay.
Okay.
The Wolves would be in that one against the Pacers.
Right.
It's a 5-teamer tonight that's not even money. You're still laying some juice with that. It's the Wolves, Pacers, Pelicans against the Jazz.
Right.
Warriors, Kings, Clippers, Mavericks, and Thunder, Lakers.
Yeah.
If you want to include that one, because there's no LeBron.
Yeah. Thunder up to 18.5 on the road.
Ugh.
If the Timberwolves win and the Suns lose, the Timberwolves clinch. And if Miami loses one more game, they're locked into the play-in, which isn't a surprise. And they keep playing games with the Houston game. They were favored. They became dogs. They're favored again. They've won 6 in a row. I just question the motivation for the Suns. You got the good news that the tech was rescinded on Brooks, but they're going to be the 7th seed. And Houston is trying. Oh, I reached out to Jeff Sherman at the Westgate. Listen to this. If the Rockets host the Lakers in the first round, he makes the series price $1,200. Oh. Are you kidding?
Are you serious with that?
Can you believe that? Oh,
well, there you go. No Reeves, no Luka.
$1,200. Kennard had a triple-double in that Mavs game. That was hilarious. Maybe he does something tonight. You get extended minutes from Kennard.
Imagine you get inside information that it's going well for Luka over in Europe.
That's right.
He's going to be back and ready to play.
I know. I couldn't believe the price. You get like 7-1 take back on the Lakers against a team that everyone was dismissing before this winning streak. This is awesome. Here's what a lot of gamblers don't realize. The IRS taxes your wins, not your net, but after a bad season, so you can be down overall and still owe big. Tax resolution expert Paul Francetic has been fixing gambler tax problems for over 20 years. Get a free gambler tax problem consultation, 262-752-6992, or visit gamblertaxhelp.com. Tax resolution expert Paul Francetic, gamblertaxhelp.com.
Huge.
Awesome.
Yep. Get that phone number in your phone now. And, you have tax days next week unless you file an extension. But that would be a massive help to file away. Up next, we'll discuss Major League Baseball. Stellar matchups on the mound. I had to play this young Phenom's K-prop over yet again, and I like the idea of betting no home run in this game. It makes some sense. I'll tell you why coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV. As always, listening on Sirius XM Channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates. We're live in downtown Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino, beginning this hour by going out to the Progressive guest line. Julian Edlow joins the program. Does a lot of content for DraftKings Network. You can follow him on X at Julian Edlow. What's up, my man? How are you?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing really well.
Good,
Let's go back to like last Friday, because we have big games now coming up tonight for Conn-Kneppel and Cooper Flagg. But the line movement that you watched happen at DraftKings and maybe beyond with the Rookie of the Year after the straw poll, before the game on Friday night by Flagg, and then after.
Yeah, so let's go to the morning of April 2nd, which is Thursday morning. It's minus 250 Conn-Kneppel, plus 190 Cooper Flagg. People were betting, and I know you guys were talking about it, people were saying that's a short shot on Conn-Kneppel. And that reflects in the odds, because when we woke up on Friday morning, the 3rd, Kneppel moves from 250 to 300, Cooper Flagg from plus 190 to plus 225. So there we are, and we know we have this straw poll coming out. And then, boom. That happens, and we have the major move. Conn-Kneppel takes a bunch of money. He moves out to minus 1,800 at DK Sportsbook, which I tweeted out was a good price at the time.
Yes.
Other places were 2,000, 2,500. Cooper Flag is plus 900. It seems like it is over. It's 80-20 Con Knippel in that straw poll. And then Cooper Flag has the 51 points on Friday night. It was off the board at that point in time. So on Saturday the 4th, after that game, we got to put odds back up. And it's really tough to determine, all right, what is a 51-point game worth in this Rookie of the Year race? So on Saturday, when I looked on Saturday afternoon, it was Con Knippel minus 350 and Cooper Flag plus 240. Without Cooper Flag playing any games, before that Lakers and Mavericks game tipped off, it was all Cooper Flag money now at DraftKings. It was 75% Flag money in that time from the 51-point game until the Lakers game tipped off. So now pregame, without Flag playing a game, he was plus 240 after scoring 51. Before the Lakers game tipped off, he's plus 120, and Con Knippel is minus 150. Then Flag goes out and scores the 45, and I believe Rookie of the Year was on the board at DraftKings Sportsbook during this game, and that moved Cooper Flag to the favorite. When I tweeted out that it had flipped from, Knippel being minus 1,800 to an underdog in the last 48 hours, that was, I think, during the Mavericks-Lakers game, and Flag was minus 190 at that point. After the game was over, he was minus 250, and Knippel was plus 180. And then we kind of settled in. Knippel took more money, and we settled in on that Cooper Flag minus 200, Knippel plus 150 range, and it's in that neighborhood now.
Wow. I just think it's outrageous to go from 11-1 to the favorite after 2 games, and we play 80 of these. So the question is, like Brian Windhorst said, do the sportsbook operators just think we're going to be prisoner of the moment and change our minds? But how many people were flippable? How many people were on the fence? That's the question now, because it was a blowout before he goes for 50 in the game against the Lakers. And it also goes back, and you're going to talk about it coming up, how he closes the season.
Yeah, so I think that's the most interesting part of the conversation. Like, right or wrong to move Knippel off the straw poll from minus 300 to minus 1,800 is, you tell me if that's right or wrong. I think the most fascinating part of the conversation is, okay, Flag has the 51-point game. What do we, as a sportsbook trader, what do we reopen that? What is that worth? And so Windhorst says a game or two at this point in the season, not worth enough to justify that kind of flip. And I think that's how most of us feel. But the unknown question, I think the most interesting part of the whole thing is, like, how close did these people have Knippel and Flag? So 80 Knippel, 20 Flag. Are 30 of those people on the fence? Were they a coin flip and like, I'm about 55-45 in favor of Knippel, I'm going to give it to Knippel, but then Flag does this and now, okay, I'm leaning the other way. We don't know. Not many of those people have said anything. Some of them have, but not the 100 people that were just polled in the straw poll. So it's a really interesting element of it. It looks like someone's dominating Rookie of the Year, and maybe they still are, but we don't know because we don't know how. We're not in the minds of the people and how close they were when they gave their opinion leading up to Friday. So you have these few games left for Flag. If he can average, 40 points the last 5, 6, 7 games of the season, is that enough to flip 30% of the field? We're going to find out. It would be unfair to have an opinion because it's being in the minds of other people that make this decision.
Yeah, well, here's my approach, at least for tonight, and with Cooper Flag games moving forward for this week, Julian, I'll see if you agree. I played his points prop over tonight. One of the first things I did this morning, I played over 25.5, laid 25 cents. I played over 29.5, and I played over 39.5 on the PRA. And those numbers are high, obviously, but he's got a 38% usage rate in his last 2 games. I have no reason to believe that's not going to continue. So until these numbers get to 30 or more with the points, I got to keep playing them. What say you?
Yeah, so this is the approach. Whether you think Con Knippel or Cooper Flag should win Rookie of the Year, whether you're betting both of them when they're at plus money and trying to lock in a profit, keep that market separate. The one thing that we do know is that the Mavericks have, the leash is off. You go out there and do what you can do to end the season. And if it gets you the award, it gets you the award. Dallas isn't playing for anything. Charlotte is. Knippel still has to play within the flow of the team. Cooper Flagg is the team right now for Dallas, the way that they're letting him go. So, he has, over the last 2 games, he's taken 57 shots, 24 free throws. He's seen a little boost in minutes. The game that he had 51 points, one other player, PJ Washington, even took 10 shots, and he took 10. So Flagg's taking all the shots. He's getting all the minutes, and we saw the last game against the Lakers. So Cooper Flagg hadn't played more than 8 minutes in the first quarter in over 2 months. Against the Lakers on Sunday night in primetime, they played him 11 minutes and change in the first quarter, and he scored 19 points. So I don't mind if you want to look at Cooper Flagg's first quarter props, because it looks like they're letting him go early, and then they're going to let him go for the game. They put him back in when a game was out of hand to get him 250. It seems like they're going to just put their eggs in this basket of, this is our number 1 pick, this is our franchise cornerstone. Maybe we're going to add another franchise cornerstone in this loaded draft that we're going to be picking high in, and let's see if we can get him to the Rookie of the Year, whether it's a little back heavy and inflated on this late performance or not.
All right, good breakdown. How about tonight? You're out there in Boston. Celtics down to 4.5 at home against Charlotte. Charlotte ran them out in Boston last meeting. Charlotte down to 7-1 to win the division. Looks like the Celtics are going to get the 2 seed. They're minus 2,000 to win the division. Celtics 4.5 and 221 tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, still a somewhat important game for both teams. Both teams pretty much clean on the injury report, so we're going to get full strength on full strength. I do put a little bit of stock, even though the Celtics did go down to Charlotte and close as underdogs without Jaylen Brown and Derek White and won that game. That was probably Tatum's best game since coming back from the Achilles. I still put a little bit of stock in Charlotte coming in here and just beating up on them at the start of March. That was the game before Tatum came back. And it could still be a send a message game for the Celtics, who could see Charlotte in the first round coming to Boston, that, hey, you guys can't come to TD Garden in Boston and expect to come out with a one-sided victory like that. So I lean to the Celtics in the game. I think they're going to win. I think they're probably covered as short favorites, but we know, Charlotte is a road dog, 15-9 against the spread, covering by 8.4 points per game. They've been really good. I like the under in the game. Celtics are on a 13-6 run to the under. Hornets are on a 6-3 run to the under. Both teams, like, you think of the Celtics and the Hornets, you think of teams launching threes, and when they're at their best, they can knock it down from 3. But both teams play pretty well on defense. Both teams slow the pace when they are at full strength, particularly. And they've seen each other twice last month. The 2 games they saw each other last month was 207 and 213 on the totals. Now you have this familiarity, playing each other 3 times in, let's call it a month, maybe 5 weeks. So they're going to know what to expect. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I like the under 221.
I like that angle. Julian Edlow, our guest, content, DraftKings Network. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. We have like 90 seconds here. How are the Celtics looking at this game, though, tonight compared to the game on Thursday night? Knicks, now the Celtics are an overwhelming favorite to get the 2 seed here and win that division. The Knicks do have the tiebreaker, though. They're currently up 2-1 in the season series.
Yeah, they have 2 big games in a row on deck, and the Knicks one being the bigger one. So it is a little bit of a look-ahead spot, which maybe that's why I'm going to the under more than I'm going to the side in the game. But the Celtics have to put some stock in these games. This is like the 4th time this season, I think, that they've had a clean injury report. They've won all the previous ones. They need to get this unit going together, and they're doing a good job of it. But now they're incorporating Vucevic in with Tatum in the mix. Like, they need to get going with their full rotation, and they're doing a good job of it. They just need to keep doing a good job of it with such little time to prep for the postseason, and this being a potential first-round opponent. So Knicks game, really important. I think they're putting big stock in this one, too, considering how few chances they get with this lineup, and that this could be a team in a couple weeks that we're seeing play a 7-game series.
Very good. Great job, Julian. Follow him on X at Julian Edlow. Thanks so much for the time, and enjoy the games tonight. Best of luck.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, guys.
I like that look, too, by the way, with Cooper Flagg, first quarter points as well. Played 11 minutes. Typically doesn't go that many. Had 19 against the Lakers. Okay. Yep. A lot of books will offer first quarter props now.
How you feeling? What do you think?
About the Hornets?
Yeah.
No, I'm not even considering it.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even
Don't be
considering
gloomy, Gus.
I'm not gloomy, Gus.
You're
Paul.
too negative. You're a negative person.
Oh, my God. What are you talking about?
You're down to 7-1. You can do this. You can win this game tonight and run the table. Atlanta's got 2 in a row against the
All right,
Cavs.
calm down, Charlie. Up next, a real-life story right out of the movie Casino here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
To put a bow on that skimming story at a restaurant right across the street here in downtown Las Vegas, Binion's.
Glad you brought it up.
We were talking about best gambling movies of all time. So Rounders is number one for me. Oni Mahoney is very high on that list. This is not like top three, probably not even top five, but a more recent gambling movie, Molly's Game.
Very good.
First of all, Chastain's phenomenal as always.
It's a very good movie.
Awesome movie. You'll get through it in 2 hours and say, "Holy hell, that was really good."
Jeremy Strong's in it too.
Yep.
The Gambler.
The original. I never saw it with Wahlberg.
I liked it with Wahlberg.
I'm sure it's good.
He was emaciated. He lost a. That's why we got to interview him. I know he's promoting his tequila, whatever. We got to get him in studio. He had lost a ton of weight for the role and would go and sit outside restaurants and just sit there and smell to like punish himself. He told his wife.
Yeah, the
Incredible.
original Jimmy Caan is awesome.
Yeah.
And I watched, again, during the pandemic, I watched The Hustler, all black and white, with Paul Newman, Gleason. Awesome movie. Back in the 60s, I believe, is when that was made.
Guy wants to know if Color of Money counts.
I would qualify probably that as a gambling movie.
Good movie, yes.
Yeah.
Bill Brennan committed the perfect crime in 1992.
Oh, 92 it was.
That's what Nola Dalla says here.
Okay.
Yeah, walked out of the Stardust with over $500,000 in cash. Remains the casino industry's most lucrative unsolved heist ever. Not only vanished, he remains the only successful mastermind of an inside job in Vegas history who got away with it.
Never talked to anybody,
and
never had any friends.
Yeah, loner,
Okay.
quiet, likely committed the theft entirely on his own. He'd worked there for 4 years. 34 at the time.
That's staggering.
Quiet person, kept to himself. It's a great line in the article. It's always the one you'd least suspect. Wasn't captured anywhere on surveillance cameras.
Now, how is that possible?
Even though virtually every square inch of the casino floor space was watched and recorded 24 hours a day. Good question for Robert Walker.
Boy,
Might have had help.
He knew what he was doing, huh?
Could have had help, though. Damn, I love stuff like this.
Yeah, great feedback right now on X, by the way, regarding this. Joseph says Hoffman's character wanted ribs, not wings. That's correct. He
Okay,
wanted
thank
ribs.
you. Yeah.
And he would go out to the staircase and eat them on his own. Phil says The Sting and The Hustler. I mentioned that. The Sting I've now watched in a... No, Sting's good. Sting's very good. I did watch that again like 5 or 6 years ago. And then Chris says Molly's Game is good as long as one accepts it more fiction than some would claim. Well, that's, I mean, the $1 billion Hollywood heist when we brought in Anthony Curtis. Oh, what's his name? Not Anthony
Houston Curtis.
Houston Curtis.
Still waiting on the second book here.
Yeah.
It's a great guest.
Yeah, that was... He could make a deck of cards talk.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
You were on vacation. He dealt me 4 aces.
Oh, it takes him 2 seconds to do all that.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yep.
The Cooler from Brian on X. Very good movie. William H. Macy.
It was okay.
You thought it was okay?
Yeah. I have to disagree with that one.
Okay. No, I thought it was pretty good overall. Let me give you this in Major League Baseball. The games that we have coming up tonight. We touch on it briefly in the first hour of the program. We'll hit it again here. It's the Mariners and the Rangers.
Yeah.
So Eovaldi has had a rough start to the season for Texas. 16 hits, 11 runs, over 8 2/3. Lots of hard contact allowed. In fact, that number is at 56.7%. 3 home runs overall. The Mariners batting so far, their slash line is 188, 292, 318. They're also 28th in swinging strike percentage, which they're swinging and missing quite a bit. Kirby's home road splits last year, he was better at home by almost 2 runs. But here's the rub for today. The Mariners have won each of George Kirby's 10 career starts against the Rangers, and he personally is 8-0 with an ERA of 1.04. He has allowed 7 earned runs in 60 2/3 innings against Texas over those 10 games. I played a little first 5 minus 115.
I'm going down with the ship. It's got to be Seattle here. The Kirby numbers, how Eovaldi struggled, not only this year, but going back his last 5 starts. They've been so good in this matchup, speaking of Seattle, when not only has Kirby been unbelievable with the ERA of 1, but what the team has done as well. So, still waiting for these guys to break out of it. Again, Naylor and J-Rod without an extra base hit. But I think they do it today. It's a fate of Eovaldi, and see if they get right in this one. And I think that happens. Didn't work yesterday with Sale, who would own the Angels in his career, but this is also strong going back. And it's I was opposing hot Soriano,
Right.
Not doing so with a bad pitcher in bad form right now with Eovaldi.
So I noticed that BetMGM, they added, at least I had never seen it before this morning. They added will both pitchers strike out a certain amount of batters in the same game.
Okay.
I don't see it currently listed for the Red Sox and the Brewers game because I wanted to see like a prop of will there be 20 combined between Crochet and the Miz in the game. If the number was high enough, I would take a peek at that.
Okay.
And right now, Mizorowski, now shop around. It's either 6.5 juiced up to the over or 7.5 at some plus money. You can always alt this stuff as well. Would you ride kind of his start to the season here against a slumping Boston offense? They look terrible.
Yep.
Did you see that throw from Roman Anthony yesterday in left field? My God, he threw, for those who he threw it like 15 feet to the right of the catcher, not even close. And he had to talk about it again after the game about how terrible it was.
Sell the team chance. It's getting ugly in Boston.
Yeah,
and not a good situation here, considering you can hit. You're going against this guy, and it's going to be cold. What I'm focused on is could be bench clearing brawl. What Contreras called his shot. He said, if you hit me again, there's going to be fireworks. I'm coming out. He's hit 24 times by the Brewers in his career, and we'll see if it's one high and tight or maybe one gets away. But I'm with you on strikeouts, and it certainly should be you'd think it'd be a low-scoring game with what's going on. And again, Brewers doing this again. Yep. Cubs, bad start against an easy schedule. Brewers 8-2, great run differential, ho-hum, no problem. And underdogs today? How can that be? Crochet's good, but, Boston, horrible form.
Yeah, very bad form. Brewers, again, they have elite offensive numbers pretty much across the board. The Cubs have some pretty serious injuries right now, at least to begin the season. Boyd's now on the IL. Doesn't look good for Horton as well, who was so good last year in his rookie campaign. Now, people were really high on the Pirates before the year. I have a bet on them for most wins in April. They happened to lose yesterday. I'm not there. The Reds are hot right now. They won 4 straight, but I don't think full season. Questions again with Green and Lodolo in that rotation. I trust this Brewers team fully. So I think they're going to win the division again as long as they can remain healthy. Let me give you some Opta AI stats on some pitchers tonight. Now, they're high on Mike Burrows with the K prop. They project him. This is at the website, vsin.com. Open to everybody right now when you go there and check it out. They have Mike Burrows projected for 6.73 Ks. 5+ is about minus 146 at DK. That's a 20.8% edge. The problem with that is he's pitching at Coors tonight. And so I rarely like to get involved with anything to do with a pitcher when they're playing. We saw it happen last night.
Ridiculous.
That kid
3-0, bottom of the 5th, 8th spot.
And that kid was cruising along. They pulled him. They go to the bullpen, and there you go. All fireworks completely take off.
Yeah.
So I can't get involved with Burrows. They also like Savali to go over 5+ against the Yankees tonight.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That's risky. 1-6, ERA of 7 last 8 against the Yankees. And also Stanton owns them, hitting .430. And what a start to the season he's off to. And we'll see also how long he goes, but also if they can get anything going off Schlittler. He's going to be trying to be the first pitcher in the modern era. First 3 starts, no runs, 2 hits or fewer, 5 innings. Yeah. Good luck.
I played his K-prop over again until they move this number to like 7.5, or they make 6.5, like minus 180.
What do you think it is? Is it the cutters, the sinkers?
I just think the kid's got the real deal.
Got all the stuff?
Oh, yeah. He's got, pretty much everything that you want in a kid that's going to take off as a super young prospect, and he's delivering right now. And, by the way, the A's strike out a lot. So pitchers have gone over their K-props a ton to begin the season against these Sacramento A's.
Yep.
But, by the way, don't forget about Ben Rice.
That's right.
He is cooking right now for the Pinstripers.
Yep. 3 home runs last 4 games. You look at his props, too. You're right. Good card tonight.
That's a very good
A lot
card.
of big-time pitchers going. Scooble's up to 170 against the Twins. Going to be cold there. See what they're doing tonight? $2 beers, $1 hot dogs.
Well, did you see okay, so our buddy Paul Charchi and retweeted this before the game last night.
Oh, no. No one there?
15 people in the stands.
Is that right?
It would have taken you 30 seconds to do a head count.
They are so pissed off at ownership.
Are they going to have to move the team?
Oh, no, they got to sell the team. Can't move them.
I would think, yeah, sell.
No,
but
sell,
will they ever
make 'em
sell?
forward, yeah. Well, I don't know what the shenanigans were last year. They had them on the market, then they pulled it.
Yeah.
But between the game's not on and they can't stand the poll ads,
I'll
it's
show
an
you
ugly
his-
situation. That bad?
Oh, Paul, it was so embarrassing and pathetic.
They were in the playoff mix every year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't they give Houston a run for their money? Was it 3 years ago now in the playoffs?
Yeah.
They had them? Okay.
Mets bullpen. Peralta comes out. Damn.
Yeah. Now we're tied
they
at 2
tied it
apiece,
up.
top of the fifth.
Took Peralta out, immediately tied it.
Up next, we're going to grab a slice inside of our
yeah.
pizzeria coming up.
90-1 cash.
90-1. Much more than that. Cross-sport parlays as well coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.